during the debate. I'm wondering if you have any thoughts on how people at home might have seen you say that, it was tough decisions, we did what I could. Do you worry that came off as plaintive?
Well, you know something, there was tough decisions all the way through, and I always said every decision I made was in the best intention with the best medical advice that I had at the time. And I appreciate the advice that I received off the chief medical officer and all the other doctors. But the only thing that, kind of bothers me is someone that sits on the sidelines didn't do anything throughout the pandemic, either one of them, and they criticize. So that was my point. But you know something, we're moving through this. We're going to focus on the economy and jobs, and people are going to have a very clear choice on June the 2nd. You're going to have a choice between the three parties that want to jack up the taxes, want to hike up gas taxes, want to hike up, bring back the license plate stickers, want to bring back the tolls, because Stephen Dalduke and Kathleen wouldn't put the tolls on there and jacked them up every single year. We're getting rid of the tolls. We already have. We're got rid of the license plate stickers. We're putting more money back into people's pocket. And under the Liberals and NDP, they lost 300,000 jobs. We've gained 550,000 with 338,000 in the waiting.
Hi there. Just on the pandemic, you said it was the most challenging time of your life and that you didn't get everything right. So can you specify exactly what you didn't get right?
Well, you know something, I really relied when it came to anything to do with health. I said it right from the get-go. I'm not an expert in health. I think I'm pretty strong on the economy. But, I take the advice off the chief medical officer at the time and other doctors. And, there's always a slip-up. All I know is if there was a slip-up at all, I'd come out, apologize, make sure it never happens again. Not too many elected officials come out and admit when they're wrong. I have no problem. If something is wrong, we're going to correct the problem and make sure it never happens. But what I never want to happen, I never want to have a future premier or administration ever to face what we had to face. When we were looking for PPE, the cupboards were empty. The previous government didn't restock them after SARS. I physically drove out there and looked at the warehouse. The good news, I called out for help. I called out, and there was 26,000 companies went on our portal in 2 days, and now we're self-sufficient. We created a whole sector of N95 masks and surgical masks and gowns and shields and gloves and so on and so forth. We'll never have to rely on anyone again.
In North Bay, after the debate, you did not stay to answer reporter questions. Noticed you had a binder with notes in this debate. Question is, are you afraid of making a mistake?
No, you know something? I don't think out of out of all three leaders, no one has been in front of the press more than I have throughout the 4 years. And I'm out here today, and do you know what people worry about? They don't worry about if I show up or don't show up. What they worry about is who's going to create jobs for the future, who's going to put money back into my pocket, who's going to reduce my taxes, who's going to build a strong healthcare system. We're doing it all. We get things done. For years, they talk about it, we get it done.
Hi, Mr. Ford. That was Lisa Shing, by the way. You're supposed to
Lisa,
name some legislation after her.
You know something, Lisa, I sincerely want to help you. And here's a good example about listening to people. And I mentioned you in our meeting the other day.
Sorry, Mr. Ford. That was not my question.
I know, but I want to give Lisa credit. Lisa was the person that prompted us to get air conditioning in all the long-term care facilities. So thank you, Lisa. I mentioned you in our meeting the other day, and I listened to even the media. Even you sometimes, Colin.
All right, Mr. Ford.
Sometimes. Go ahead.
So on the binder that you brought up today, I think there was a lot of people who were watching who noticed that you were occasionally had to glance down at the binder to refresh your memory. Why were you so reliant on pre-written notes in this debate? Why couldn't you speak from the heart or from the mind, as the other leaders say they do?
You know something, Colin. I've been in more debates, and so have you. You've watched debates across the country, provincially, federally, municipally. There's nothing wrong with putting notes to make sure you're organized. Matter of fact, in North Bay, they had their notes, and I had my notes. They had the choice to bring it. I didn't, but guess what? People don't care about that. Do you know what they care about? They care about jobs of the future. They care about their kids when they get out of university and college, that they have a proper job to go to, and getting them prepped to have a better opportunity than anyone else. You know, we have 550,000 jobs with 338,000 in the waiting. We have the economy humming right now. We're going to continue by creating an environment for companies to thrive and prosper and grow. We're competing against, we aren't competing against the people down the street. We're competing against folks over in Europe, down in South America, over in Asia, all over the world, and the United States. And guess what? We're beating them.